Hey everybody, Matthew Pilmo here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. I've got a really fun day ahead of me, and I just wanted to talk with you guys about how that day will unfold. It's a really meaningful day for me and really meaningful week ahead, and I'm gonna include you guys on a lot of it because there's so many lessons to take away from this. It's a Sunday, it's gorgeous out. Really anxious to get the four-wheelers out. I've got a Jeep. My good friend Art Vasquez, one of the most successful investors here in Denver, Colorado for the last decade, has this amazing collector's edition Defender. It's made by Land Rover. I'm not that big of a car guy, but I do love getting up into the mountains. My dad is an Eagle Scout, and just being able to break away and take this time to not just get out and play, but to go and ask one of my mentors a ton of questions and continue to further our professional mentality at the same time is super cool. So I just wanted to help include you guys in some of that because maybe it'll help you guys reconsider how you're doing things too. For a lot of you that have been following this channel for a while, you know that I've done a lot of traveling for the last couple of years, and long story short, it just burnt me out. I did this back 10, 11 years ago as well, and traveled all over the country teaching and sharing, and I got burnt out then too. So I don't know really if I was expecting something different or not, but we came together as a group of owners. We've got this company called VIP Financial Education, and we provide an ongoing coaching program for people that are taking their money seriously and they are sick and tired of being sick and tired financially, and they want to just move things ahead. They see what we're teaching on this channel and they don't want to be left behind with it. So we work with people one-on-one, and not everybody's a great fit for that. But those who have managed to kind of come into our live audiences, and they've subscribed, and ultimately we made the decision that from a professional and personal standpoint, lifestyle design is very important. There are a number of folks out in the educational space that just teach constant grinding. You may watch some of them too. Here on YouTube, some of my favorites include people like Grant Cardone or Gary Vaynerchuck. And I certainly love most of what Tony Robbins stands for. But when I look at the lifestyle design choices that these leaders are making, it doesn't really appeal to me. And maybe you can relate to that, okay? There are a lot of educational philosophies that people like Robert Kiyosaki and Dave Ramsey, and most definitely Susie Orman stand for that I don't necessarily agree with. That's why people are attracted to what we teach, because we don't all believe in the same things. If I go through each of these, a couple of the reasons I don't stand for everything that these guys do, when it comes to Gary Vee and when it comes to Grant Cardone, when it even comes to Tony Robbins, these folks, from what I've seen, are really pushing to exhaust every minute of every hour that they're awake, and they don't necessarily believe in a lot of sleep. I value comfort, I value free time, I value sleep more than I think they do. And I don't think they're really necessarily encouraging everyone to work 20 hours a day like they do. But they are encouraging that if you're not happy with what you have. And I believe in working hard. It took me countless 120-hour work weeks to get to where I am today, but it's not where I want to spend my time at this stage of my life. I'm a healthy, almost 40-year-old who wants to see and interact with the world. I want to help people all over the world. A lot of you may not know this, but I traveled 10 years ago during Hurricane Katrina to New Orleans and was able to spend 3 months in a tent volunteering to help clean out the disaster down there. In fact, I worked with a community called Emergency Communities that was able to make 1,250 meals a day for the residents that had stayed behind, along with a lot of the rescue crews that were down there. And it was just a life-changing experience. I'd love to be able to do as much of that as possible in my lifetime. So I'm back here in Colorado more than I was able to be over the last 2 years. And I believe that this is also the right professional decision, not just because of all the time it gives back, but what I can do with that time. It will become even more profitable for us. And I want to walk you guys through some of that as time goes on. It's not really the point of today's discussion and episode. While I'm here, I reconnect, I network, I get out there. But networking through big events isn't necessarily what I enjoy as much as the one-on-one time by building friendships. Some of my closest friends, who are all tremendously successful, found me through my live classes, found me through my professional branding. So develop a professional brand. Don't be afraid to go out there and get a cup of coffee with somebody and ask questions. One thing that Tony Robbins says that I've always loved is we're all equals. I have a certain number of specialties. I'm an expert in certain areas, and so are you. You're an expert as well. So that makes us equal. I have a ton to learn from you. You have a ton to learn from me. And that's why coaching is also incredibly valuable, because you can't be expected to be an expert at everything. You need other experts around you. You know, I'm glad to be back, and I'm gonna go spend today with my good friend, Art Vasquez. Art Vasquez and I spoke probably no less than 50 times over the last decade. You might notice that a lot of these relationships that I develop are super long-term. These are people that I've grown with over my career. That's something that I would recommend too. Just make sure that you do what you say you're going to do, and you do it when you say you're going to do it, and relationships will last as long as you're both gaining mutual value. Relationships should always be about mutual value. So Art and I are gonna go up into the mountains. We're gonna go mess around in Allen's Park. I've got the drone ready. We've checked the air map. We look like we're clear to fly. We're gonna go up there. We're gonna start messing around. In fact, let's cut to the clips now so you guys can start enjoying some of that instead of my pretty little face here. I know that's, you guys are probably sick and tired of looking at it, given all the number of videos that we're putting out. So look at this stuff, guys. Look at how gorgeous it is up here in Colorado, and why I want to be back, especially when the weather is like this. But Art and I get to sit together and we get to talk. Sean Mathis and I get to sit together and we get to speak about real estate. We get to talk about changes in the market. We get to predict and plan ahead for the next big downturn. The next big downturn is going to hurt a lot of people, and it doesn't have to be you. If you are properly prepared, you will be able to not only take advantage of the opportunities that are here right now to make money, but you're able to take advantage of the opportunities moving forward where assets come in for 30, 40, 50 cents on the dollar. And the only way to properly prepare, from my standpoint, is maximizing your lender worthiness, maximize your credit profiles. This does not exclusively mean credit scores. This means your entire borrowing strength and how you look and sound to the banks. By being able to look and sound the way that people who have the money want you to, you're able to get access to capital that you didn't even know existed. And it's important to understand how to identify the right types of those capital accounts and when they're supposed to be put to work correctly. So Art and I are going to go talk a little bit about this up in the mountains so that we can be prepared ourselves. Now, one thing that Art had always explained to me was there is no such thing as good debt. Good debt is dangerous. Every form of debt. Dave Ramsey talks about how debt is a very evil and dangerous element to finance. I don't subscribe to the extremities that Dave Ramsey teaches to avoid debt. I think it's a mistake. We've got people on the other end of the spectrum who teach the idea of good debt as being real, and that's someone like Robert Kiyosaki. I don't subscribe to that philosophy either. I do believe that leverage is the most important ingredient to you creating wealth, but it is what caused the problems in the last downturn. Perhaps you had some of those problems, or you saw somebody who did, or you had a family member who went through some hardship. Guys, it's very real, and the reason it happens is because of the liability that comes with leverage. If the banks get what they want, how long will you stay in debt? It's a pop quiz. If the banks get what they want, how long will you stay in debt? I could ask 1 million people that question. How many do you think would give me the same answer? So we have to start at least at some point acknowledging that long-term debt is dangerous. And if we can redesign how we structure and manipulate the way that our debts are being serviced, by playing them against each other, by understanding how the vehicles that we call debt weapons can accelerate your objectives, you gain an upper hand that you didn't have before. What Art helped me understand almost 10 years ago is that there is no such thing as good debt. It's all about a necessary evil. If you treat it as evil, you'll begin to restructure how you think about it, and your behavior changes will follow. Whether you follow the strategies that we teach, which by the way are mathematically the fastest, safest, and least expensive, all combined. There are faster, there are less expensive, and there are safer, but you have to connect all of those dots across the spectrum, or you're not reaching the same potential that we're reaching. You can do it on your own, guys, and you can do it with at least starting here with how you're looking at your debts. And again, look at it as a necessary evil. Leverage is very, very important, and debt is very, very bad. So that's my lesson for today. Now, a couple quick reminders. We've got the FAST program. This is the after-school tennis program that our good friend Brian Raleigh, a current coaching member and full-time real estate investor, put together to help teach the sport of tennis to children after school for free. Really cool cause that he has, and he's looking for some help. So please, if you haven't already, look at the video that we posted just a couple of days ago regarding this. Brian and I were out hitting the tennis balls around. Again, this is somebody that is doing a lot of really exciting things far beyond the stuff I'm doing in real estate, and I want to learn from him too. So make sure you're sticking around all week long, guys. It's going to be a very exciting week. Make sure you're commenting on the videos. We want to hear your input. We want to know firsthand how debt has worked against you. Tell us your most debt is dangerous story. And also make sure you're sharing this information. We want you to pass it along to your community. We do have a referral partnership program. You can make money participating in it. Make sure you're subscribed to do so. It's totally free to participate, and you can make up to $1,000 for every referral you send over. So a lot of really exciting reasons to be a part of our community. We call them the cash flowers, guys. Smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we'll see you on the next video. Until then, make it a great day and take care.